Hyrkan strode quickly through the forest, his face clearly showing annoyance. Strangers followed closely, praising his speed while catching their breath, saying it was fitting for a talented person. They begged him to slow down a little because they couldn't keep up. Losing all patience, Hyrkan yelled, telling them to go away. However, the strangers remained unfazed. One of them reminded him that he hadn't given them an answer yet. Then, all three abruptly changed their demeanor, and with elaborate and dramatic flair, they invited him to join them. Hyrkan looked skeptical, unable to believe what he had just heard. Afterward, the group of strangers decided to formally introduce themselves. They declared themselves the R2 clan, and revealed they were training in Purung Forest to reach level 100. The stranger explained that the monsters in this forest were too strong for them. The group lacked the strength to hunt, which was why they needed more companions. However, he lamented that no one agreed to join. Hyrkan sarcastically remarked that it was truly surprising. The stranger suddenly became desperate, grabbing Hyrkan and begging him to join to protect their romantic story. Hyrkan was disgusted and yelled at him to stay away. A moment later, the entire group of strangers lay prostrate on the ground before Hyrkan and his skeleton army. Hyrkan declared that he didn't care about their affairs and had no intention of cooperating with anyone. He threatened to take action if they continued to follow him, then turned his back and walked away. Left behind, the group of strangers was disappointed at being rejected. Suddenly, a member received a distress signal from the Toon clan, a group that had treated them poorly in the past. At the same time, a giant, glowing red monster prepared to attack Hyrkan. Immediately, Hyrkan ordered his skeleton army to charge forward simultaneously. Without hesitation, he led the charge directly towards the colossal monster, unleashing powerful attacks. Overwhelmed by superior might, the monster known as Black Gore was quickly defeated. A surge of energy enveloped Hyrkan, signaling he had gained valuable experience points. He let out a sigh of relief, confirming that the hunt had concluded. Hyrkan stood amidst a battlefield strewn with the corpses of 55 monsters he had just defeated. He realized that after confronting the Elf Knight, these monsters became too easy because their movements were very predictable. Nevertheless, this was also beneficial, as it helped him level up quickly. Afterward, he rechecked Ma Wung's quest, which required finding traces of armored monsters in Purung Forest. He grew frustrated because he couldn't find a single clue, while he hadn't even started the main quest chain yet. Hyrkan felt he could not waste any more time. Realizing that the top guilds, including Che Seolyan and Mathador Shev, had already begun the main questline, he worried they would soon catch up to him. For a moment, he regretted not having extracted information from the R2 family. However, imagining himself having to cooperate with them, he immediately dismissed the thought, preferring death over working with such individuals. Suddenly, his train of thought was interrupted by a massive explosion from afar in the forest. He was annoyed that someone was causing a commotion, attracting all the monsters in the area. His irritation quickly turned to curiosity. He wondered what kind of monster could cause so much trouble. Heading towards the explosion, Hyrkan realized he had arrived at the right place, a cold smile appearing on his lips. At the same time, an unknown player was struggling to fend off a powerful attack. He was stunned to realize that there wasn't just one enemy. Before his eyes was a vast army of iron-clad warriors with glowing red eyes, steadily advancing. The unnamed player is in an extremely difficult situation. The monster's sturdy iron armor renders all his attacks ineffective. The situation worsened as they formed a battle formation, preventing him from rushing in recklessly. He realized that this type of monster should not exist in this area. While speculating about who might be commanding the monsters, he suddenly noticed another presence. Amidst the enemy ranks, a large, imposing figure appeared, a completely unfamiliar leader. The captain realized the danger they were facing. The enemy was a monster, intelligent enough to command an entire army. He admitted the group had let their guard down, and this threat was beyond their capabilities. To buy time, a team member erected a colossal firewall to block the advance of the armored monsters. The fierce flames erupted, engulfing the enemies. The captain turned back in surprise to see his teammates running up to check on him. He looked at them, then surveyed the battlefield again. The situation was dire. He knew another clan had been completely annihilated and feared his team couldn't hold out much longer, being surrounded and exhausted. Amidst the enemy's encirclement, one player suggested they should flee before all perished. His teammate also realized their chances of victory were very low. Suddenly, a cry for help caught his attention. In his memory, someone was trying to protect a wounded comrade and desperately begging for help, but another player had turned their back and run. Finally, the whole group could only embrace each other, accepting their fate. After a moment of contemplation, the captain made a decision. He ordered his teammates to expend all their remaining energy to clear an escape path for the Toon clan. The other team members were stunned by this command. The captain explained that they understood better than anyone the feeling of being abandoned in a crisis. Therefore, he could not bring himself to abandon those in distress. Hearing this, his teammates appeared anxious and hesitant. The captain ordered his teammates to leave to support the Toon clan, while he stayed behind to block the monsters. He declared that the enemy would not pass, then bravely charged towards them. Wielding his weapon, he unleashed a powerful blow that struck a monster. Seeing his move was effective, he realized the plan was progressing smoothly and prepared to continue fighting. The captain was struck down by a massive monster. Gasping on the ground, he realized his efforts weren't enough. As the armored monster raised its leg to finish him off, a surge of vibrant green energy suddenly appeared. Hyrkan rushed in, blocked the attack, and told the captain to stop trying to act cool. The captain stared in astonishment, recognizing the newcomer. Hyrkan stood in front of him and clarified to avoid misunderstandings. He asserted he wasn't there to help, but to prevent them from taking his monsters. To the captain's confusion, Hyrkan summoned his skeletal army into battle. Under Hyrkan's command, his skeleton warriors charged into attack. They quickly and brutally tore through the armored monster army. A nearby player witnessed it all, utterly astonished by their combat prowess. He couldn't believe that summoned spirits could move and fight so skillfully, a power far exceeding the capabilities of an ordinary necromancer. The true identity of the Haho mask wearer became a huge question in his mind. The battle ended swiftly with the monsters completely defeated, and Hyrkan gained experience points. After dealing with the minions, Hyrkan turned to the remaining player. He taunted the boss monster about its subordinates being destroyed, and promised it would soon be reunited with them.